Hello and welcome to another edition of King Joe's and Channel Tron. We're doing a comic book review today since my buddy Anthony is here.
Came up to visit.
We're doing The Walking Dead Michonne one-shot special.
This contains spoilers.
Yes, it contains spoilers. If you don't want to watch, shut that video off. Okay, this is actually the first Walking Dead book I ever bought and actually read. Okay, I've watched this television show from season 1,
which I love. Great.
I love the show.
Awesome show.
I didn't realize the difference between the show and the comic book until I read this about how, first off,
Otis
is still alive. Same thing with the black guy who just got killed.
T.
Yeah. I didn't realize, Anthony was saying how he thought Michonne actually had training and then we found out in this book she just picked up the swords from a neighbor's house.
Yeah, it was cool. Like, I like Michonne because I like the character. I like that she had the Japanese sword. I love my martial arts and everything like that. When I read this, I enjoyed it. It wasn't exactly what I expected as far as the origin. Because I would expected, the way that she uses a sword, I would expect it, and when I was reading this, for her to have some type of martial art background or Japanese type background, right?
I was trying to prove a point to him. I said, she's a woman. She's not really that muscular, right? And I said, she's athletic, but for her to still takes so much, pressure to sever a guy's, to chop a guy's head off.
That's what he's saying, but not with that type of sword that she has. That sword is razor sharp. It's not going to take a whole bunch.
No matter what, a blade is a blade is a blade. It still needs an amount of force in order to cut. Bone and cartilage. You ever watched The Deadliest Warrior?
Yes.
You saw some of these guys that were huge. They had samurai swords. Did they slice through a pig's head?
They slice through the whole torso.
Yeah, certain people. And those guys were humongous guys with a freaking super sharp blade.
But if the blade
she's not built like Conan.
I know that's true.
Okay,
but the neck. Look how little piece that she has to cut through with the neck.
The human neck, believe it or not, is
sharp sword. It doesn't take that much. It's a super sharp sword.
Okay, we're gonna sit there and debate on this.
I know it won't take much. It'll take 1, 2, 3. It won't take.
Good. When you die, I'm gonna get a samurai sword to see how much power it takes to decapitate you.
But anyway, I was expecting to see a martial art background with her, but it turns out that the spoiler, I guess when that apocalypse happened or the zombie apocalypse happened, she came home from work, and
her boyfriend and his friend.
Here's another spoiler. Those pets in the beginning, it was her boyfriend and his best friend, as far as the comics are concerned.
Yep.
That lived in the house. Those are the pets.
That's when she found out if you get bit, you turn. Because she came home from looking for food and they were both zombie-eyed.
And she locked them in their room, and then she
went to the neighbor's thing and got the sword.
She went to the neighbor's house, which was abandoned, and she found a sword. She was mad at the neighbor at the time because she thought the neighbor used the sword to kill her dog.
Yeah.
But she said it wasn't as bad right now. But as she picked up the sword, she got herself a sword. And then she was upstairs in her room, I guess, looking out the window, just staring out. And she realized that the zombies didn't attack each other. And that's what she got the idea for the pets.
Yep.
But all in all, this is a good issue. I liked it. It wasn't exactly what I expected. I just started reading Walking Dead for the most part.
Yeah, well, if you notice, too, she also learned in this, she ends up showing up at the prison with Rick and the others. And it's funny because just on this past week's episode, she shows up at the prison with Rick's formula and the supplies because, as we all know, who's that asshole with the friggin' sword? His brother? I can never remember their name straight.
Sword?
He's got the hand. It's got the friggin' knife that sticks out.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Yeah,
I forgot his name. You guys know what I'm talking. The guy with his hand cut off with the blade.
Yeah.
I forgot what it is.
Yeah, and the sad thing is, I just finished episode 1 of The Walking Dead on my Xbox 360.
That's a good game. That game is pretty fun.
Yes, I wasn't happy that I didn't save the reporter's life. I saved the other guy because the choices you make dictate the game. So you can actually play that game, 100 times, and if you switch your choices, you always have a different outcome.
Yeah.
So
it's fun.
It's sort of it's choice-based game in the storyline. And you already, in the beginning of the first game, you meet the Oriental guy. He leaves your party already.
Glenn?
Yeah. And I actually like how they tie it into the television series / the comic. Well, the comic book's different. I just say they tied it into the TV series.
And that's another thing. As far as saying the comic book is different, this is the Volume 3 Walking Dead. This is a season that we're watching on TV right now. And when I read it, it's a really good story, but I'm not sure how they're going to change certain aspects. Like the climax of this book, it involved 2 characters that are not in the TV series. So I wonder how they're going to do that. But still, excellent book. This was fun. It was real fun to read. I was able to read this, and it didn't ruin the season for me that we're watching right now.
Well, like I said, you know, when I first read this and I found out Otis was still alive, I was like, I actually liked Otis's character because I actually liked the guy who played Otis. He was in The Mentalist, and he's an all around decent actor. And I actually felt bad that fucking asshole used him as freaking zombie bait.
Yeah. But that's true. Or, you know, I would like to make a point, too, which is pretty funny. Rick Grimes. I saw an interview with him. They did an off-camera interview. Did you see any off-camera interviews with him so far? No offense to any British or anything like that, but he has the most European British accent that you would ever imagine.
Rick Grimes.
Rick Grimes, the leader, Rick. When he talks...
Jesus Christ, he's another Brit?
What is it? It's just like, it seemed like one of those spoofs where you see the people, like the...
so he's like another Hugh Laurie, then? Sit there.
Yeah,
House.
Oh yeah. So
that drives me nuts. Because
so he looks real badass, like a tough American Southern guy, or whatever. When you hear him talk, you know, he just talks in that really straight British, like listening to Prince James talk or something like that. You just wouldn't expect. It's funny. You wouldn't expect it. It's completely different.
That goes back to my point about how all these people come to the United States to make money, and the money doesn't stay here.
Well, either way, we're being entertained.
Yes, we're being. I know, but that bothers the freaking piss out of me because I actually thought the guy was, you know,
no, he's not
Southern
American. Oh no, he has.
Taking more jobs away from Americans.
No, it's hilarious. But acting is acting. But it's funny. Yeah. It's pretty good. You have to see him talk regular. You wouldn't expect him. You don't hear no tough guy out of his regular voice. But he's a great actor. That shows what a great actor he is because he pulled it off so well. But I guess
that's disappointing to me.
It's pretty cool. It was funny. It cracked me up. But yeah, I guess that's it. This Walking Dead Michonne special #1. Sorry about the spoilers, guys, but I figure we give you fair warning. And thanks for watching as always. And we'll see you guys later.
Yep.